Bales weigh 1 ton and contain 40,000 tin cans. And over here, all that newspaper ends up in big bales to be recycled. This is the most basic of product recycling. But what about those high-end products, like mobile phones and computers? As Christian Purefoy now explains from Nigeria, we certainly recycle them, but there's a positive and a negative aspect to all that waste.
We can't keep our hands off them. Mobile phones, Blackberries, laptops. When it's time to upgrade, we'll happily hand them over to be recycled without really knowing their final destination. Well, they could end up in places like this. A dump site in Lagos, Nigeria. An electronic landfill. TVs, computers, laptops, shipped over for resale, but often discarded as rubbish. And the waste is often burned to get at the reusable metals like copper wire, which in turn releases toxic metals and chemicals harmful to the local population. And US-based environmental group Basel Action Network warns it's a mounting environmental disaster.
If we don't control it, there will be serious contamination and exposure of large population to heavy metals from e-waste, because it's a huge volume of waste we are talking about, and it is spreading.
This problem is now being acknowledged by the Lagos government and charities alike. The Nigerian government has ordered a crackdown on harmful electronic imports and is supporting plans for the building of a recycling plant in the region. But many of the computers shipped into Nigeria don't end up on the dump sites. Second-hand computers, monitors and keyboards shipped in boxes like this are distributed across Nigeria and end up in IT training centers like this.
Okay, so click on this.
The Aya Abubakar Resource Center in Nigeria's traditional Muslim north trains anyone from students to businessmen and women. They import computers, but from charities like Computer Aid in the UK, to ensure they are reliable. Besides, says the director, cheap and second-hand they may be, but with the education and business opportunities they are providing, waste they are not.
Because once you empower a person, you don't consider it as waste. You empower the person socially, financially. That shouldn't be referred to as waste, because you've given that person a life.
Charity Computer Aid in London wants to make sure that the electronics you recycle don't end up on the rubbish heap.
It's really important that we're not just transferring Europe's scrap and dumping it in Africa. So this facility here acts as a filtering mechanism to make sure that any old or redundant equipment is recycled in the UK, and that any high quality, high specification computers that can be reused in business colleges, universities and community organizations in emerging economies are sent for that purpose.
For the business traveler, it's about knowing where your waste is going. So next time you recycle computers, phones or other electronics, you know for sure that it's helping the environment